Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Pony Montana, and in this video, we're going to be going over the Madden patch. This is a massive one. This is a huge one, so let's get right into it. We're not going to do anything crazy, but like always, hit that like, subscribe, hit the noti bell, like, comment. Yeah, you guys already know the vibes. Everything that you guys need to know about this patch, we will break it down in this, and I'm going to skim through it because it is a long patch, and there's a lot of things to talk about. Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about. So I am going to go over little bits and pieces of it, but just know that Madden is very different right now. It's not very different, but it is different to the point where you guys will have to change either your defense or maybe your offense, depending on what your offense was previously. So not only did they take out high balls in this game, but they've also taken out some of the best defenses in this game as well. So a lot of people are kind of, they're scraping and scrambling for some defense. So we're going to start off with the coverage. This is the first thing that they put into their gridiron notes. And as always, I will leave a link to this down in the description so you guys can see it for yourself. If you guys don't want me to talk over everything that I'm reading, a link will be in the description. Okay? Simple. Coverage. Improved box call logic to cover four quarters and cover four palms to better defend passes out of bunch formations. And the reason why I'm reading this is because there are a bunch of additions to some of the different defenses in the game. We don't know every single one yet, but there are certain cover four matching plays that have been introduced into different defenses, which just makes a lot of different defenses a lot usable, more so than they were before, especially in like 3-4 odd. Not saying that 3-4 odd needed some different matching, but there are different defensive adjustments that you guys can now make in 3-4 odd. That's just one that I've noticed because I like to call 3-4 odd from time to time. So dev note, the box check is a zone check made by the defense in cover four match plays versus bunch and tight formations. It intends to have four defenders in the box in three receivers. In three receivers. It is a zone match concept, so coverage defenders will initially read the play while they drop into their zones and then match up in man coverage on the receivers who enter their zone. So again, it's just explaining how match works in this game. Then it fixed an issue causing deep zone defenders to react inappropriately to pump fake. So again, I'm only reading this because this is a massive fix. The pump fake glitch is now patched. You can no longer use it in Madden, which is a clap for EA. And then there was a little bit, there's another way to actually do the pump fake glitch, but it's very, very inconsistent and you're just not going to want to use it because it doesn't break the game to the point where they need to patch it. It's patched, it's fixed, we don't have to deal with it. Fixed an issue causing a deep third hot route to default to a right third by default. This is a huge one. This is one that Zan has been preaching for the longest, because if you guys know, this also worked in college football as well, where if you put your outside safety on the left hash and you put him in an outside third, it ends up putting him in an outside right third. It was broken and they fixed it. Fixed an issue causing some press animations to press the receiver up too far up the field. I think that is more so towards like the curl flats and things like that, where if you put a curl flat on the field and stemmed it all the way up the field, it resulted in the man coverage pretty much not man covering on that person, resulting in easy streaks down the field with no animation pretty much for the defender, which was very, very bad. So fix an issue causing some press animations to press the receiver too far up the field. We already read that. Tuning to improve outside deep zone defender positioning, cushion and leverage versus corner routes. This is something, again, it's just helping out with zones here. Fix an issue preventing the switch stick delay setting from saving incorrectly after that. Passing and catching, tuning to reduce pass on high throws. This is a huge one. You know what? Instead of reading everything that is going on in this, let's just talk about the patch. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Again, a link to this will be down in the description so you guys can see it. And the most notable things that you guys will notice when you guys hop on to the patch, whenever it is that you guys end up playing Madden, you guys will notice that Dollar is no longer the best defense in the game. You will notice that DB Fire is now one of the best blitzes in the game, because edge pressure is now what you are going to be looking for, and that is what a lot of people are currently running. They're trying to find edge pressure because the A-gap blitz out of double mug is now gone. The A-gap that is in Dollar is now gone. High ball passing is now gone. There are more matching plays in a lot of different defensive formations that you guys can now utilize in this game, which is going to help your defense out a lot, because the more you mix up your defenses, the better. And if you're mixing up with man coverage and match coverage, a lot of the times your opponent suffers to read the defense when it comes to those kind of situations, and that is huge. Now, what else? Dollar has a new blitz, cover 6 Willie, and the edge blitz that I posted. There is a loop out of both of those that a lot of people are currently calling right now. If you're using double mug is no longer that good anymore because they patched the A gap. So now instead of being able to crash down, you're no longer able to do such a thing. And if you're talking about high balls for offenses, they did nothing for the run game, but they did nerf the passing game a little bit, because if you played a good player, a good passer, you notice that they highballed a lot. And once they highball, it makes it so that your opponent was not able to pretty much get an animation. So if you're calling man coverage, and say you had a Kyle Pitts going up against a Jair Brown, where Kyle Pitts is a much taller receiver, you would notice that Kyle Pitts is pretty much coming down with the pass all the time when they highball it. So they've nerfed that to where if you highball it, you will get a lot more inaccurate passes, and that is absolutely beautiful. And speaking of which, it's literally right here. Tuning to reduce the passing accuracy on high throw mechanic on competitive game style. Now, granted, you can still perfect your passing if you get into the lab and actually practice the throwing animation of your quarterback for the high passes. But it's a lot harder now. You will still get some accurate high throws, but it's a lot harder, which is very, very difficult. We have seen nothing towards the animations for picks. We're still dropping interceptions. Unfortunately, zone coverage is always going to be looked at like it's bad in Madden. But I had a play today. You know what? Let me actually find it for you guys. I had a play today while I was playing Madden where I threw what I thought was an absolute dot, and for some reason, EA decided that it just wasn't. Now, this wasn't the play, so I'm going to go ahead and find it real quick. So I threw what I thought was an absolute laser of a pass, and EA just decided that it just wasn't. And to me, this is a clear sign that zone coverage works a little bit better than we like to actually speak about, because this should have been a dot. I highballed this too. Now, granted, the pass lead was a little bit bad, but the fact that the defender goes all the way from down to the sideline, going all the way up the field to actually guard this route was good. This is a good thing. I thought it was a very good pass. It was just a bad pass lead, resulting in the defender being able to make a play on this pass, which is huge. This is something that zone defense does not get any credit for, and this is after the patch. This was actually today. I did end up winning the game, but still, this is a huge thing that we need to stop complaining about, because zones aren't the worst. They just don't work like we want them to every single time. So again, they added some extra things to playbooks. As you can see, tune in to AI play call. They've also added the last thing that I would note for this video. They also added a time situation where you can no longer just go out of the huddle and then come back and there's no time that goes off of the clock. So again, if you're playing, it just makes the games go by a lot faster. There is no more zero time rundown when you guys are playing in these games. So make sure that you guys are taking that into account when you're going for clock management situations, because it will absolutely kind of mess up your offense, especially in like a fourth quarter situation, or ending of the half situations. This is going to be huge for the MCS, honestly. So again, defense has changed. The 6-1 A gap is gone. The double mug A gap is gone. The dollar A gap is gone. So again, if you guys are looking for blitzes, you want to add to that edge pressure or the crossfire kind of pressure. That's what's going to get you a lot of the blitzing, a lot of the good blitzes in this game from now on, because everything else is pretty much been patched. So I will be dropping a blitz like I always do, but obviously just to give you guys a rundown of what the patch did and how it works. This is it. Now, I know it was a long video, but if you guys made it to the end, I appreciate it. My name is Pony Montana. I will see you guys in the next one. And as always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.